Hey guys, number one is when did I burn out? And I burned out of baseball in my sophomore year of high school. Some of the things that I think were contributing to it were I had really high expectations of myself. I had a lot of potential in baseball, and I had really high expectations. I think I had low social support um, with my team and my coaches. I didn't really feel that I had a very good bond with them, and there was a really excessive demand on my time after school at that time, which was really uh, a time when I needed that time after school for school. I think coaches' feedback wasn't very good, and all that. I think number two is in what sport and activity was I participating? I was in baseball, and I think it's important to go to number seven on this, where my symptoms didn't come suddenly. They built up over time. My sophomore year, I was playing varsity football and basketball, and when you're a sophomore competing on a varsity level, and you're not quite developed as some of your peers are physically, and you're training really hard all year round, like I was trying to compete for starting spots, and I was involved in for number three. I was involved in weight training before school. I was in a PE class during school, and then after school, I was involved in year-round sports. So I was training a lot, and by the end of that year, where you don't have the successes that you're used to because you're competing with a lot more physically dominant players, you have a lack of enjoyment, and you have chronic stress because you really want to play, and you feel like you're not living up to some of your potentials, but also you're not getting the feedback from the coaches that you might not necessarily want. And I feel like I had maybe some identity crisis going on where, uh, I felt like I was a good player, but but I just felt like I just didn't love it. I didn't love the game because of who was around me, and that's not the I didn't want to be known for as a baseball player really. Um, Number four is how did I feel physically at the time, and I think obviously really fatigued uh, physically. I wasn't losing weight at the time, but I also wasn't gaining weight, which even though I think that's a time when you're really growing a lot. And how was I feeling psychologically at the time was I had definitely had a decreased motivation on the team. I was really not sleeping very well, which is something that's common in me when I'm stressed. I don't sleep very well, and I was definitely had some irritability and anger problems at that time, which is really uncharacteristic of me because I'm really laid back and I really get along with everybody. But at that time, I was just really maybe fed up with everything going on, and so yeah, it definitely led to uh, a lowered school performance and maybe decrease in my performance because I wasn't as into it mentally, and I think I was really self-critical. So I eventually ended up walking away from baseball after that season was finished, and so number six is relative to questions four and five. How long did you feel that way? Um, I felt that way until the end of the season, and it was started maybe in the middle early of the season, and by the end of the season, I had had enough, and I walked away, and I had a little bit of time to myself, and then I got to start training and being involved with the football guys again, and I think by that time, being away from sports and school and having some time off, I kind of got a little bit of my drive back. I got to be around some of the guys that were going to be on the team coming up, and I was maybe a little bit more feeling a little bit more dominant and feeling like I had more positive feedback from the coaches at that time too in football and the off-season basketball programs. So that's that's what happened my sophomore year, and baseball season. So I'm looking forward to hearing back from you guys with what you guys think I could have done to reduce or recover from the burnout, because I definitely feel that here in Japan, where we have year-round football and being involved in school and everything. So you're more than welcome to respond to me, please. Thank you. Hope you guys are having a good week.